Hey everyone, it's 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗓𝗖𝗓 here. Today I'm going to be talking about what happens when you don't feel that you're supported by life and how you can turn this around when you're not supported by God or by the universe or the source or whatever you believe in, right? When I was diagnosed with cancer at 38 years old, I felt exactly like that. I felt like the world was out there to get me. It was almost like if I left my house, like waiting for the tiger to come and get me. I was in constant flight or fight, feeling like, what is it going to go wrong in life? What's the next thing that is going to, to go pear-shaped in my life? And that led me to really feel quite sad, lonely, angry, frustrated. And, it wasn't a good place to be. And when I was diagnosed with cancer, I had to acknowledge that. And for me, it was very much, well, this is really interesting. And I got curious about why I was living life like that. Whilst I had gone through some really hardship and some trauma and some things that were far from ideal, I still had loads of blessings in my life that I hadn't acknowledged. And I couldn't really say that my life was more difficult than anybody else's. And before cancer, I thought, I've got the worst deal of this whole thing, why? And, once I start realizing that, it wasn't that I had the worst deal of it all, but I was just focused on everything that had gone wrong. And I was so self-centered that I didn't realize that everybody's going through their own stuff. And it wasn't about them or me. It was just about, this is it, this is life. Things go right, things go wrong, and it's about how you react to it. And once I start sitting with this and acknowledging that stressful way of living wasn't serving me, and that I had so many blessings that I could focus on, that I could acknowledge, and I could really be happy about and feel embrace and be grateful for, I could also learn how to react differently to challenges that life threw at me, as opposed to feeling and being like a victim. And for me, there was a journey of not only self-discovery to find out, the person that I had become, but also to making different decisions from that point on. So I could get out of that flight and fight 24/7. So I could feel more in peace when life threw challenges at me, and I could come back to a place of feeling grounded. So I could come back to a place of, okay, how will I react to this? As opposed to thinking that, when something went wrong, was that person trying to pee me off or something, So I think that once you start opening yourself up to a different perspective and seeing the world differently, you realize that we all go through things, but we are all also very supported by life, God, the universe, the source, or whatever you believe. We all have so many blessings in our lives. And then once we turn our focus and energy to that, it's almost like we start manifesting less and less situations where, we are feeling that, things are going wrong and not going our way, and things that are negative and everything is, is going pear-shaped. So I think it's really important to have a look at your life from a different perspective. If you ask, somebody else who is going through something about your life, they're most likely going to say to you, I have gone through that, and I would rather go through what you have gone through. Because it's very easy for us to sit here and judge other people's lives and think, they have gone through something easier than I did. Well, in actual fact, we don't know, because we haven't gone through what they have gone through, and equally, it's very easy for us to sit here and play God and being, and feel that we can choose what we, but I could go through a divorce, but I couldn't go through a diagnosis or whatever, and the reality is, we don't exactly know, where we can't predict. We don't have like a crystal ball to really predict the future. And it's not about that. It's really about embracing what life brings to us. and really sitting with ourselves and making different choices, how we're going to react to it. For me, one of the biggest things that I did in that journey was to really ask myself, when I was faced with a challenge, what do I need to learn from here? As opposed to, why is this happening to me? What do I need to learn from here? And I started doing that when I was diagnosed with cancer, which was the most challenging time in my life. And from that, I had had many other challenging things thrown at me. And I always ask that same question. What is in me that I still need to grow? What is in me that I need to learn in this situation? I really hope this is helpful to you. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And if you have any questions or comment, leave me below, and I would be more than happy to answer. I know that this sometimes can be very challenging to ask ourselves those questions in a time that we are facing things that are far from ideal, but that gives us an opportunity to see life with a different perspective. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.